Yo, it says I'm running out of battery. Let's film it. Alright. I got to thinking, what are the best albums? Or what are my favorite albums? Or what are the albums that have most changed my life? Well, those are three different criteria. And you could think about what's the best album. People always say stuff like Fear of a Black Planet by Public Enemy. Like, what are my favorite albums? I could think of like Get Ready to Roll by Rodney O and Joe Cooley, or Seeds of Evolution by Dark Sun Riders. Or albums that have changed my life, I could easily say Kool Moe Dee's Funky Wisdom, or The End is the Beginning by Occult. But just stripping away all of that analysis and intellectual stratification, I just decided, what are the four albums that I listen to the most? Since that seems to be the most easy criteria to gauge, and this is what I came up with. So number 4, coming in solid, is Paid in Full by Eric B. and Rakim. I listened to this album so much through my adolescence that I was convinced that I must be one of the people on the planet that has listened to it the most. And it's just such a great album. I have so many good memories of it. Like in 8th grade speech and drama class, we had to do a lip sync, and I chose the title track, which admittedly was kind of lazy because there's only one verse. That was fun. My friends in the class wanted to do the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song, so I gave them a disc with the 3-minute version on it and made them memorize the extra verses. That was funny. Another funny thing was, in high school, I used to wear like massive headphones and carry around a cassette player, even during run days in PE. The coach was like, "You're into old school hip hop. I bet you $1 you don't know this song." And funny enough, I was wearing a shirt with Eric B. and Rakim on it that day, and he starts playing the song. Dun, 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 dun. Microphone Fiend by Eric B. and Rakim. The first 3 seconds. He's like, "Dang, I owe you $1." I'm like, "Coach, I'm wearing a shirt with them on it." Like, how did he not see that? And I was thinking, oh, okay, it's the Schoolboy Crush sample. It's either Grand Verbalizer by X-Clan or it's Microphone Fiend, but I recognize it because it didn't have that kid. It just had the sample. So, Paid in Full, number 4. Number 3 is an album my friend gave me in high school. I lost the original disc and cover, but it's the Technotronic Trip on This Remixes album from, I believe, 1990. And this album is just like an instant mood boost. Like, the beats are so happy. Like, Ya Kid K's charisma is just unmistakable. Like, get up on your feet before the night is built for you on this. Get down to the beat. Pump it, stump it, jam. And being that it's a remix album, it's just loaded with scratch samples, and I love it. I could just throw it on anytime, and it's great. Number 2 is Little Rob's 1218 Part 2. I've always been admittedly a bit of a Lil Rob fanboy, and I don't know why. It's just, his music is just so enjoyable to listen to. Since I was a kid, I had an obsession with San Diego, because that was like my family's default vacation destination. And then when I found out Lil Rob was from San Diego, I'm like, oh my gosh. And this album in particular, like, I heard 2 or 3 of the tracks on the radio in 2008. That was Do It, Stuck With You, and maybe Bang Bang Boogie. But I didn't even buy the album till like 2013 when I was in college. Like, I had a Best Buy gift card. I'm like, what am I gonna buy? And dude, this album is great. I feel like Lil Rob, he makes, like, every single album he's always rapping about the same 4 subjects, but every single album is great. Like, they never get old. And number 1, shockingly, is the Cheetah Girls 2 soundtrack. Long story short, one of my friends told me that Sabrina Bryant went to the same high school as me. I'm like, oh, she was in the Cheetah Girls. And I found the CD at a rummage sale. And like, instantly I put it on. I'm like, the target audience for this is like teenage girls. Like, why? I think adults need this kind of motivation more than anyone. Because like, every single song on here is like all about positivity and like teamwork and cooperation and just being yourself. Like, I don't know. I just find myself going back to this one so much, and it's such a great album, and the movie is great. I have the first one. Like the soundtrack on the second one, it feels the best, and the